Jordan City volunteers continue to support the Bedouin families with local police help. Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital takes 2 years to set up a stem cell collection center to carry out the transplant. Welcome to the headlines. I'm Maggie Tsai. Thank you for joining us. During Jordan's strict movement restriction order to flatten the curve, residents cannot leave their house and could only leave with permission under special circumstances. As Tzu Chi has long cared for Bedouin and families of refugees, they were able to continue their essential support with the help of the police.
This vehicle filled with vegetables have stopped at Suile, yet they are not here to sell but to donate. Tzu Chi Jordan chapter has been able to donate money to the Suile house with the savings they have gotten from the vegetable vendors, so the home could buy food for Syrian refugee children.
شو عم تعملي؟
على ولد زوجتي.
ليش؟
لا أنا مستعد جاب لنا تفاح.
مستر جاب لك تفاح؟ شو كمان؟
موجود كل شي فواكه وخضار.
فواكه وخضار وحليب.
إيه.
وجبنة.
جبنة ولبن وكل شي.
شو بدك تقولي لهم لتزوجي؟
ساكت زوجتي من أم الماستر.
For those Bedouins who live near the Amman airport, Tzu Chi is also looking after them. As this help has been ongoing each month for the last 18 years, the police have also let Tzu Chi through without scrutiny.
Thank you, Master Zheng Yan, for your efforts to give us rice, sugar, and tea. During this lockdown, Tzu Chi is the first to help us. Thank you for your assistance. I'm eternally grateful.
As the Jordan government is enforcing a strict lockdown until at least the 15th of April, citizens are cooperating with this prevention measure, limiting their movements. Thus, the UNHCR have also stopped distributing shopping vouchers for the refugees. In the face of refugees running out of food, not only Tzu Chi volunteers are extending a hand, but Fathia, a Syrian refugee, is also donating 5 portions of food to help her fellow countrymen.
The COVID-19 pandemic not only caused a shortage of masks, but also protective face shields and clothing in hospitals. Setting up a protection line in the shortest time, 633 Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia were mobilized to produce more than 7,000 protective face shields in 8 days. These shields will be sent to various medical organizations, including the government and private hospitals.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Johor Bahru, Malaysia, have mobilized more than 600 people in 8 days to make more than 7,000 protective face shields.
For the face shields you made and our face masks, including N95 and ordinary masks, we cannot buy them even though we have money. So we are really grateful to everyone for sparing your time to come and help us make this. I really appreciate your help.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Johor Bahru set up an epidemic care team to receive help requests from hospitals and medical personnel, as well as supplies from all walks of life. The supplies, which were kept temporarily at Jinshi Hall, include N95 and surgical masks, barrier gowns, PPE protective gowns, blood oxygen meters, epidemic prevention intubation boxes, and protective face shields made by volunteers. They were then sent to various hospitals and clinics in Johor.
We belong to the frontline staff dealing with many patients every day. Now there's a group of people contracted novel coronavirus. We don't know who got infected and who did not. Whenever a patient comes, it is a risk to us, no matter which disease they are coming for. We have to be very careful, so we are very grateful to Tzu Chi for helping us make these face shields.
In addition to the government hospitals taking confirmed cases, private clinic was also facing the shortage of protective face shields.
Many COVID-19 patients actually don't have symptoms. These face shields are actually very important to us. Just like a soldier, he needs to have sufficient equipment before fighting in a war. Now when we are facing such a strong virus, it seems that we are using toy guns to fight. So with this equipment, we can be more prepared. And to medical personnel, they can make sure our lives will not be threatened.
The number of confirmed cases is increasing day by day. On this endless epidemic prevention path, the love from the community supports medical personnel and frontline workers to fight against the virus.
Beijing Tzu Chi volunteers are delivering epidemic prevention supplies to many other countries. They prepare 598 boxes of supplies and store them in a hotel near the airport. After filing the customs, the volunteers will be sending the first batch of epidemic prevention supplies abroad.
Beijing City volunteers and factory manager check and hand over 598 boxes of epidemic prevention supplies.
We mainly check the stitching place, including its thickness. It looks very thin, but it is water resistant. We've tried it. The quality is fine.
Volunteers put Tzu Chi Foundation logos onto the boxes of supplies, including masks and protective clothing. Before sending them abroad, the volunteers store the supplies in Fengrong Hotel, which is providing the storage space for free.
We thought about several places. Then the hotel manager said that we can place the supplies in their conference room. It is large and safe. It is close to the airport, so it will be convenient to transport the supplies. Since we are sending them abroad, it is convenient to store the supplies here.
As the epidemic spreads globally, we are very happy and honored to help the Tzu Chi Foundation carry out this task and distribute epidemic prevention supplies with great love. I'm deeply touched.
The hotel manager led his employees to work with city volunteers to move the supplies. It took the volunteers less than 4 days to handle the supply storage and customs reporting.
This is the first batch of supplies sent abroad by Beijing volunteers. I'm from Hubei, and I feel deeply about the epidemic. Now that I can spread love as a Tzu Chi volunteer, I feel very proud.
City volunteers are running against time to deliver the epidemic prevention supplies to the needy, hoping to protect the safety and health of more people.
Taiwan in Kunshan, China has been giving free vegetarian box meals to 4 hospitals. They want to turn love into action and get everyone to become vegetarian.
This seemingly ordinary box meal includes a trip of love. This vegetarian restaurant in Kunshan, Jiangsu Province is the starting point of this trip.
Kwansan chapter of Tima held a meeting on the 17th of March, and we tested the meals that day, and after testing them, we started giving meals out the next day, on 18th of March.
Tzu Chi's vegetarian box meals that are nutritious and delicious started to gain popularity among medical professionals. It began with single-digit number of lunches, to now over 50 medical personnel from 4 hospitals want to eat them every day.
The volunteers send the meal boxes to us, so it touches us deeply. We feel this act of kindness is full of great love, and we are willing to join this action to give love to other people.
The meals are different every day, so I can feel you prepare vegetarian meals for us with much heart.
I've been eating it for a week, and I feel it tastes quite delicious. And the meals are diversified and fresh. I also share the benefits with my family.
The hospitals have also set up a vegetarian meal chat group on their devices, so they can order the meals on their phones and promote it to other people.
The epidemic has hit Italy severely, and the priest Father Giuseppe Doni, who came to Taiwan to serve for more than half a century, appealed to Taiwanese society to assistance for the COVID-19 outbreak in Italy. After the message was released, all sectors of society generously donated $4 million in just 6 days. This led him to immediately end the fundraise campaign as he wrote an open letter expressing his gratitude to Taiwan.
From my heart, thank you very much. I'm very grateful for your help.
The priest is full of gratitude because after media reports, a huge amount of money poured in.
Yes, you can transfer it directly. After you have transferred the money, please call us to tell us the last 5 digits of your account number.
Some donors kept calling in non-stop, while others went to the church directly to donate. For bank transfers and remittance only, more than 20,000 transactions were accumulated. The message was released for 6 days. About $4 million of donation has already been received, showing that the love from Taiwanese is abundant and infinite.
Including employees and related organizations. Some are even from distant places.
所以特别来捐款。对。今天捐多少？1万块。
The priest wanted to take care of the patients who got the disease. Since the Italian doctor didn't help, he went to serve these patients, so in the end, he got infected and died.
At the age of 80, the priest felt compassion for other priests in Italy and so begged Taiwanese for assistance. In just a few days, he saw a late-stage cancer patient went to the hospital to donate in person, and also a senior vegetable vendor donated the masks she could up buying and her earnings. Taiwan society continued to touch me greatly. Looking back my past 55 years, it made me more certain of the reason why I wanted to spend my life here.
Wish us to be able to get peace, blessings, and happiness.
At Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, Dr. Hong Bo, being of the infection disease department, is in charge of treating patients suspected of COVID-19 infections. 70 years ago, when SARS struck, he was a resident doctor who cared for the patients with other doctors. This time, with his accumulated experience, he is fighting in the front line.
医院是大家防疫的最重要的地方，要守得住，没有时间害怕。
To fight COVID-19 epidemic, Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital has set up designated wards for patients suspected of COVID-19 infection. Such wards will have 1 person per room. There's also a special flow designed for medical personnel.
上面写的入口基本上是一个单向。
The entrance is a single direction one. People can only enter and not exit the room. Before the medical personnel enter the ward, they need to dress appropriately. Then they can open the door and enter the isolated space, which we call the frontal space.
隔离的空间，也就是我们所说的一个前区。
Hong Bo-bing is the director of the designated wards. Having been trained in treating infectious diseases, he did not hesitate to take on the responsibility to fight the epidemic when given the task.
说不害怕是不可能的，只是说因为我们懂得它的传染途径是飞沫传染。
It's impossible to say that I'm not afraid. However, knowing that it is transmitted through droplets and with abundant protective gear, we can reduce the chance of getting infected. Does my family know about this? When this interview is aired on TV, my family will know that I am responsible for the designated wards. I've faced the pressure myself.
大概我家人才知道说，原来在护着这个专责病房的一个医师。
你压力自己默默承担。
哈哈，是的。
Every day he goes through the wards to understand patients' conditions.
看起来体温还有他的呼吸好像看起来不错，那血氧浓度96，看起来没什么状况。
To reduce the chance of exposing himself to the patients, Hong also uses communication software to care for the patients and tell them about the treatment. Putting on N95 masks, surgical masks, gloves, and caps, Hong and nurses are ready to conduct a checkup on the patients.
一定是接触病人之后，一定要再换装。
After contacting the patient, we need to change into a new suit before entering the next ward. As a result, we spend more time changing clothes than consulting with the patients.
Hong and nurses are pious and vigilant as they help the patients fight the virus.
Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital set up a bone marrow transplant room to serve people suffering from blood diseases in central Taiwan. This included 2 years of preparation with regard to hardware and also the training for people in this area. The hospital also founded a collecting center for hematopoietic stem cells last year, so the hospital has the capability in carrying out stem cell transplants.
65-year-old Gu Meiyu is a retired university professor. She suffered from multiple myeloma a year ago. After she received an auto stem cell transplant, she recovered quite well. When she sees the Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital set up the bone marrow transplantation ward, she is happy for other patients.
I feel it is nice to have this unit. It is very good to patients, a very wonderful place to central Taiwan.
To give a more professional care to the blood disease patients in central Taiwan, the oncology department of the Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital went to learn the experience from the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital 2 years ago.
We learned the whole layout plan and the design of engineering work and the training of staff. After we came back, we thought about building a bone marrow transplantation room in our ward.
With the founding of the Stem Cell Collection Center last year, Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital can now serve the donors and their recipients for an auto-transplantation or an allo-transplantation.
We can collect the stem cells in our hospital and use them to carry out an auto-transplant or an allo-transplant. We can help every medical center to carry out an allo-transplant.
The medical team is now able to serve blood disease patients in central Taiwan with its hardware and its staff.
On the internet, there is a rumor that skipping breakfast could cause one to develop gallstones. Is this true? Let's hear what the nutritionist says.
Early in the morning, when many are rushing to work, they might forget something important. A vegetable wrap or a burger is full of nutrition. Breakfast can be a source of nutrition for the whole day.
I eat breakfast about 5 times a week. Sometimes I sleep late and ignore breakfast.
I don't think that skipping breakfast will cause much of an impact to me.
If you don't eat breakfast, there are many health concerns, as a report on the internet says that this could indirectly cause gallstones.
If you don't eat breakfast, bile can't be released. Studies have shown that if bile is in the gallbladder at a high concentration, it is easier to crystallize.
Dinner and breakfast are usually separated by 10 to 12 hours, and if this time is extended, it could affect those who are at high risk for gallstones. However, everyone's meal times are different and it is difficult to generalize. The basic rule is that you should eat 3 meals a day and your health will not be compromised.
Li Guiyang's leg was amputated in 2015 because of diabetes. Later, her sister died in a car accident. Under the double blow of bad news, she became helpless and unhappy. After receiving Tzu Chi's help, she was inspired by the master's philosophy and turned to help others in need.
Li Yueying has mobility issue because of leg amputation. Every time when volunteers visit her, she donates the money she has collected in her bamboo coin bank.
When my friends came to see me, I told them to help other people. Some people are living a hard life. When you do shopping and get some coins, you can put them in a bamboo coin bank. I will tell each of my friends about it so they can bring a bamboo coin bank home.
She not only motivated her friends to donate money to do good deeds, she also encouraged her relatives to adopt a vegetarian diet, hoping that everyone could be healthy.
Eating vegetables are good for our body, making us live a longer life.
She told me to go miller's, so now I eat vegetarian food every day.
I have seen from the news that people have suffered from COVID-19, so don't eat meat like chicken meat. I feel pity for animals. They were slaughtered by us for food. My heart goes out to them.
Knowing that she has changed to adopt a vegetarian diet, Tzu Chi volunteers brought her Tzu Chi's instant rice when visiting her.
Master has been calling us to adopt a vegetarian diet. So when we visit care recipients, we will encourage them to go miller's. One day, we visit about a dozen care recipients. About 3 of them filed to adopt complete vegetarian diet. This is not easy for. I'm very grateful for their kindness.
The epidemic continues to spread, making people feel panicked. Tzu Chi care recipients embrace vegetarianism and also promote it actively, forming a power of kindness.
The most common problem for single families is that parents cannot achieve a proper balance between work and family. This means that such children must become independent at a very young age. Today, let's meet such a child, Su Yanyi.
These three little girls play together after class, chatting non-stop.
你是不是燕姨的好妈鸡？哦，你为什么觉得你是她的好妈鸡？
他下课跟我玩。吃法中，花贵的吃法是什么？我是直接吃，直接吃。不然写功课不会的话，他会教。
When doing homework, she will teach us what we don't know. We will laugh all the time together.
他跟同学之间的相处。
She gets along very well with her classmates and doesn't have any disputes with her classmates. Other kids also fight to be in the same group as her.
反而是其他小朋友会起争执。
你有没有很多
I have many friends, and after class, we just chat together.
聊天。
Yanyi always speaks softly and sweetly. The first impression she leaves on many is that of a quiet little girl. Her teacher says she is very popular and responsible in her work.
She's a child who takes things seriously and is very responsible in her studies.
She grows up in a single-parent family from an early age. Her father was very busy with work as she became very independent along with her 5th grade brother.
哥哥，我也回来了。
你回来了呀？好，来，哥哥，你要去捐赠吗？好，那妹妹来，再让你洗好。
Their aunt comes back to cook dinner for them when she has time. Both of these children help out.
我希望他们独立一点。
I want them to be independent and self-reliant. Sometimes in the evening, if I'm busy, should I help put the clothes away?
全家的衣服都是他折的。
The family also has a grandmother in her 80s who has limited mobility. The siblings often do their homework while taking care of grandma.
Very well behaved. These two are very good. They don't give me the trouble, and they don't argue with anyone in the family.
When the rice is cooked, they'll feed grandma.
Yanyi loves to study since childhood and has won many awards. Since kindergarten, she had one aspiration.
I want to teach students who struggle in their studies so that they can have a sense of accomplishment in the future.
如果在米浆中加入糖和发粉蒸煮，就成了发糕、萝卜糕，代表好彩头。
She hopes that one day she can stand on a podium and become a good teacher. Volunteers from the Taiwan Fund for Children and Families have long cared for these siblings and have appreciated their courage in facing difficulties.
很少孩子能够去知道。
Few children can understand the difficulty their parents face. This is very rare. They not only know their difficulty, but they also take action.
用行动去做付出。
好吃的儿童节蛋糕。
The cake sent by the social worker on Children's Day will make this pair of siblings happy for a long time.
Indonesia Tzu Chi chapter purchased many preventive medical equipment from China to safeguard the medical professional safety. Take a look and see you next time.